He stands alone on top of a rusted shipping container. The wind cuts across the empty yard. His voice echoes through a cheap microphone. Buy one shirt, get 5 free. No shipping fee. No questions asked. But no one's watching. No one's buying. No trucks. No buyers. Just silence. Behind him, a giant banner sways. Factory direct, export quality. It was printed for American customers. Now it hangs limp, like a broken promise. This is Shenzhen's port, once the busiest in Asia. A symbol of China's unstoppable rise. Today, it's just a parking lot for dreams no one wants. He keeps live streaming. One shirt, then another, then another. He used to sell in bulk, containers at a time. Now he sells one item at a time. To no one. Why is China's trade machine collapsing in silence? And why are so many pretending not to see? The man used to sell to retailers in Ohio, Arizona, and Georgia. 5 containers a month, each packed with t-shirts, jeans, workwear. Orders came in steady. Margins were tight but predictable. Then came the tariffs. The US slapped up to 145% on low-cost Chinese goods, including the ones he sold. First, he thought it would pass, but it didn't. His buyers stopped calling. The shipping costs doubled, and new rules forced every package to declare its origin. With no way to hide it, the de-minimized loophole was gone. Temu, Shine, thousands of small players, strangled overnight. He tried switching markets. He called clients in Brazil, in South Africa, in Southeast Asia. But they too had questions. Questions about inspections. Questions about duties. Questions about reliability. Because it wasn't just the US anymore. In Q1 of 2025, over 20 countries had added trade barriers targeting China. Anti-dumping taxes, carbon audits, traceability laws. Every shipment became a risk. Back home, local officials told him to keep producing. They offered a small freight subsidy, suggested live streaming as a workaround, and waived his warehouse fees for 3 months. But none of it brought orders back. In Zhejiang alone, 5,000 garment factories closed. In Hebei, steel yards turned into junkyards. In Guangdong, freight trucks sat idle for weeks. He visited the port last month. It looked the same. Silent cranes, stacks of sealed containers. No movement, just rust. He tried domestic sales, but no one was buying. Savings were up. Confidence was down. Everyone was cutting back. Even his neighbors stopped eating out. Even his daughter postponed her wedding. In China, 70% of household wealth is tied to real estate. And real estate is collapsing. People aren't shopping. They're surviving. He kept the factory open for one reason: his loan. If he shut down, the bank would seize his land. So he kept making shirts, stacking them in corners, packing them into containers, and live streaming, hoping. He's not alone. China's entire export model depends on a cycle: mass production, fast shipping, global demand. But all three broke. The world no longer buys the way it did. Not from China. Not at this scale. Not at this cost. And he, like thousands of others, is caught in a system that punishes you for stopping and punishes you for continuing. He keeps his phone charged, keeps the mic working, keeps shouting into the void. One shirt at a time. He used to believe what state TV told him. Export figures are strong. Global partners trust China. Recovery is just around the corner. But then his account got flagged. His live stream, showing empty warehouses and canceled shipping labels, was muted. His WeChat post about rising warehouse costs, deleted. No warning. And he realized the numbers on screen weren't his numbers. The story wasn't his story. He asked around. Friends in other cities, factory owners, truckers. Everyone was silent. Not because they didn't know, because they couldn't speak. In early 2025, over 40 million posts were removed from Chinese platforms. Not political posts, but economic ones. People talking about layoffs, about unsold goods, about unpaid loans. And it wasn't just censorship. It was denial. Officials visited ports to pose for cameras. Speeches praised resilience and high-quality growth. Local news celebrated record shipment days, using footage from 2019. In reality, shipping volumes were down 22%. Freight companies were operating at half capacity, and exporters were offering 70% discounts just to move inventory. He remembers a slogan printed on government banners: "Stay confident, stabilize production." But in his district, 3 factories had already shut down. 2 others were renting out floor space as parking lots. One converted into a live stream studio, selling dog food and kitchen knives. Is this what recovery looks like? He asked his accountant, "How long can we run like this?" The answer: as long as the bank believes you're alive. That's the trick. You don't stop. You pretend. You keep the machines humming, even when the output has no buyer. Because silence invites questions, and questions invite inspection. They tell the world, China is open for business. But they don't show what kind of business. A man selling export-quality jeans to no one. A warehouse turned into a discount set. A nation building goods it cannot sell, but cannot afford to stop making. The truth isn't in the numbers. It's in the noise that isn't allowed, the questions that go unanswered, and the silence that grows louder than any press release. First, it was the workers. In the live streamer's factory, 20 employees stopped showing up. No official layoff, no written notice. They just left. Some returned to their villages. Some tried food delivery. Others moved to TikTok-style live sales, selling toothpaste, slippers, junk. They weren't replaced. The machines still run, but only 2 people monitor them now. The warehouse manager quit last week. The driver stopped coming after missing 2 months of wages. And the accountant? He sends invoices, knowing no one will pay. Then came the neighbors. The textile workshop next door closed quietly. One day open, the next gone. No announcement. The steel cutter across the street started selling bottled water. His inventory, stacked behind plastic banners. He calls it Plan B. He walks past the port entrance every morning. There used to be trucks lined up at 6 a.m. Now it's empty, just stray dogs, 2 guards, and signs that say, "Authorized access only," to places where nothing is moving. On his live stream, someone commented, "Why don't you just quit?" He didn't answer, because it's not about quitting. It's about debt. If he stops, the bank seizes his factory. If he keeps going, he keeps the illusion alive that there's still business, still demand, still purpose. His wife no longer asks questions. She stopped cooking for the workers months ago. His daughter dropped out of her university. Too expensive, too uncertain. They eat instant noodles, 3 meals a day, and he still live streams. It's not just one man. Across China, the same story repeats. In Wenzhou, a shoe factory converts into a tea shop. In Dongguan, a plastic molding plant is turned into a storage unit. In Suzhou, a truck depot becomes a flea market. These are not transitions. They're slow-motion exits. On social media, a new phrase appears. Work hard, sell harder, lose everything. The sarcastic, but it's true. People work double shifts to pay off inventory they no longer believe in. Some live stream all night. Others sell second-hand factory equipment. The city itself starts to shift. Restaurants close earlier. Subway ads go unsold. Street lights in industrial parks dim after 10 p.m. Banks offer restructuring, but only for clients with export licenses. And even then, the lines are long, the rules unclear. Meanwhile, outside China, U.S. importers place orders in India. EU buyers shift to Turkey and Vietnam. Global freight rates drop, but only for routes that avoid Chinese ports. The world adapts, and inside, people pretend. They keep storefronts open with no stock. They run ads for products they no longer produce. They post sold-out signs to hide the truth. In 2025, China's greatest export may no longer be products. It may be silence, wrapped in cardboard, stamped urgent, and never shipped. The man still climbs the container each morning. Same spot, same script. Buy 1, get 5. Factory direct. No middlemen. But there's no one watching. No one listening. Only wind. Only silence. He presses go live. Checks the frame. Smiles. Behind him, the banner still hangs. Made for America. But the container he stands on? It hasn't moved in 6 months. And the goods inside? Still sealed. Still waiting. Still rejected. Once, this port connected China to the world. Now it connects no one. The live stream blinks. The mic cracks. And the voice says one last time. Buy 1. Take 5. Please. Then. Nothing. So we ask. When a nation builds for a world that stops answering, what's left behind isn't just unsold goods. It's the sound of being forgotten.